There's a big mistake that I see a lot of people, especially in my generation, making. And through making this video, I'm not coming from the place of judgment. It's more so I want more people to be aware of what's actually happening. So if you're an ambitious person, if you want a lot of like good things in your life, if you don't want to be average, you'll be able to avoid this trap that a lot of people fall into. Basically, the big narrative for a lot of people is that you go to school, maybe you go to college, get a degree, and then work a job for the rest of your life, and then retire and die. And out of this narrative, what a lot of people do is after they graduate high school and like go to university, what a lot of them will do is just like party, celebrate, do a whole bunch of drugs, drink a whole bunch of alcohol, have a bunch of like degenerate like relationships with other people. And I understand why people do it. It's kind of like this idea of, okay, like enjoy yourself while, you're still young and you have all this energy. Because, once you get a job, once you have all these responsibilities, you got bills to pay, you got children, pretty much life is just downhill from there. And I knew for my life, I never wanted to experience this. I always wanted something more. And I guess people, it's either like a standard issue, like they don't have a certain standard for themselves, or they're just not aware that it's possible for them. But the thing is, if you don't spend this time, like while you're young and you have a lot of energy and whatever, if you don't spend this time just celebrating too much and essentially being a degenerate, you're not going to have to live the average life. You're going to be able to live an above average life. The principle is basically you build first, enjoy later. A lot of people have it the other way around. They want to enjoy their life right now because that's just the narrative that's going on. They want to enjoy right now and then like build later and have all the responsibilities later. Instead, I think what the better strategy is to build right now when you have all this free time, the most free time that you're ever going to have in your entire life, and sacrifice this time so that then later on in life you're not going to have to struggle and like suffer with all those things. Like for example, two of the major things that I'm focusing on right now is building my businesses. So like I have a big enough income so I don't have to, struggle essentially through the rat race, 9 to 5 jobs or whatever. And also building my physique. Because like, for example, we'll just start with physique. When you're younger, it is a lot easier to build muscle than when you start like aging. And the thing is also with muscle, once you actually build the muscle, it's a lot easier for you to get it back. So like say I built my physique, my dream physique that I wanted, and I kind of just like slacked off for a couple of years. I didn't work out. I started eating a whole bunch of junk food or whatever. Because I already had that physique and I like built that when I was younger, it's going to be a lot easier for me to get back to that point versus someone who didn't build their physique while they were younger. They had that energy, but later on in life, now they're actually trying to build muscle because they realize how much better it could make their dating life and like confidence and whatever. But now that they're older, it's going to be harder for them to build that muscle because they didn't like do that when they had that free time and when they were younger, whatever. It's the same thing like with business. If you started when you were younger and you just like locked in doing this and eventually, you get that success because you understand business now and you're able to, make an income online or whatever it is. Even if after that point you decide to slack off, do absolutely nothing, whatever, you're very stupid with your money and you like wasted whatever. Once you're older, it's going to be a lot easier for you to just like make that comeback and, build another business because while you were younger, you spent that time, you sacrificed, and now okay, this is what I have to do if I want to have a successful business. You know how to do it. You're able to like make that money or whatever. And like in so many other like different areas, if you just right now lock in and build a thing, build your foundations right now, later on in life, you're not going to have to suffer like the 99% of people who follow this narrative where they're supposed to enjoy their life right now while they're broken, stupid and young and have like all this free time. It's like you don't have to live like that. Instead, if you just were to sacrifice this tiny bit of time, you'd be able to soar like above the 99% of people and be able to live like the 1%. I never understood why so many people didn't understand this like very simple thing. Like build right now. Stop like Yeah, even like with girls, I forgot what movie it was from, but essentially it was the idea where like you get the money first and then you get the women. It's like that idea is so true. Like if you build yourself up right now and like, you know, if you have a very successful career or business, whatever, you're making a lot of money, women are gonna become so much easier for you. For you, if you build your physique right now, you sacrifice that time. Women are gonna become so much easier for you later down the line. You focus on the things that you have to build right now, so that you don't have to suffer so much later on in life. And if you want to, you could still continue to like work on these things like later on in life and get to an even higher point. But the point is, you won't have to. It's not gonna be so big of a struggle. I think, unfortunately, again, a lot of people, especially like younger guys, they just want to enjoy themselves and be free. And I completely understand that. And from a practical standpoint, at least what I do and what I suggest for somebody, because at the same time, I guess it's important that you don't end up regretting things. Like there are some people who end up working so hard and then they feel like they haven't even experienced life. But I mean, to be honest, like if that is you, or if that were the case and like you felt like you didn't experience enough of life, like once you built everything, like now you can experience life. But just say, for example, you didn't want to feel like you were missing out on life while you were younger. Instead of doing all of the degenerate, like going out and partying and drinking, doing a whole bunch of drugs and like having or doing that every day type of thing, instead, what's probably way smarter is to try a little bit of it if you absolutely need to. Like, I completely get that, but don't become addicted to it. Does that make sense? Like, if you really want to go to a college party or if you really want to, you know, try this thing that you know you shouldn't do, but you kind of just want to do it because you want that experience, okay, go ahead and try it. But don't keep doing it. Don't waste so much time. Don't waste so much energy doing that thing. Spend the majority of your time, again, building yourself up so that you don't have to end up like the 99% of people who are struggling and suffering unnecessarily just because they didn't build at first. Right now, as you're young, you have the least amount of responsibilities. You have the most amount of free time that the average person will ever have. I strongly suggest that you don't waste it. I strongly suggest that you don't follow the advice of, or follow like the same path that the majority of people do, because the majority of people are suffering in silence and they won't ever admit it because of their ego or, you know, whatever. But you really don't want to live that type of life where you did nothing and you didn't build yourself up when you had all the free time. But now you have a whole bunch of responsibilities. You may have, you know, kids or bills or other things, and you have no free time. And you essentially have no choice but to work that 9 to 5. You have no free time to actually work and build your physique. So now your health is deteriorating. You have no free time to like spend with the people you really love because there's just so many other responsibilities calling for you. I hope you take this seriously because, I mean, it's your life. Honestly, you do what you want to. But from the perspective of someone who wants to live the best life that they possibly can, I just think it's a smarter play to build first and then enjoy your life later. But anyways, hope you got some value from this video. Peace out.